Freedom is felt when the engine roars. Patience is the key when traffic is slow. Riding through the open roads and wind in my hair. That's where the thought comes, by the way. Riding through the open roads and wind in my hair. That's where the thought comes. The education system is so vast, where knowledge is supposed to last. But is it really meeting its goal? Or is it time for a change to unfold? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. To quickly introduce, my name is Abhishek Sinha. By profession, I am a law professor and dean at School of Law UPS. And by passion, I'm an avid bike rider. Maybe some of you would be expecting me to look like him, but this is what you have got. Just a quick disclaimer. I am not here to deliver any motivational speech. I am not here to give you any advice. I am not going to load you with a bunch of data, facts, research, stats, chart. I am here only to give you a fresh perspective on something which you and I do and see on a daily basis. With this, I will quickly jump on to my topic. But before that, I have two considerations for you in form of questions. And there's a request. The request is, please keep these two questions in your mind while listening to my short talk. The first one, can we normalize being who we are, who we truly are? That simply means two things: being non-judgmental and not posturing for who we are not. And second, can we look at motorcycle rides with a fresh pair of eyes? And with this, I introduce you to my topic, revving up education. It's simply articulation of learnings from my motorcycle rides, which has the potential to change the education system in India. And mind it, when I say education system in India, I am not talking about the educational institutes only. I'm talking about the educational institutes, the educators, the YouTube influencers, the coaching centers, and the most important, the learners. This may sound little discomforting to some, that how can a motorcycle ride give us learnings which has so much potential? So please start getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. And with this, I present to you top 8 learnings from my motorcycle rides with the potential which I just articulated. The first one, being fully present and engaged. Now think for a minute that you are riding a motorcycle, but you are not looking at the road. What will happen? I need not answer. Accident is inevitable. Similarly, think of it that you are riding a motorcycle and you see a speed breaker in front of you. What do? Automatically, your left hand grabs the clutch, your right leg goes to the brake, your right hand again goes to the front brake. Now, what is this? This is engagement. So, if you are not fully present and completely engaged in the process of riding a motorcycle, will you be able to ride a motorcycle in a manner where you don't meet with an accident? And the short answer to this is no. So for a learner, if you are not fully present in the learning process and not completely engaged in the process, will you be a good learner? I leave this thought with you. With this, when I talk about engagement, the second learning is linked to it, which is hands-on experience and multitasking. Critical. These are all words which you must have been hearing on a daily basis. But linking it with motorcycle rides is something which is a new perspective to it. Now, I'll give you a very simple example. Let's say I open a college, and this college gives you a graduation in motorcycle riding, how to ride a motorcycle and how to repair motorcycles. And what do? I look at top 5 motorcycle riders across the world, across all jurisdictions, and top 5 motorcycle guys who can repair it. I put them in a classroom, and all the students are there, and for 3 years, just like any other graduation degree, for 3 years the top experts teach the students how to ride a motorcycle and how to repair a motorcycle. What will happen at the end of the 3 years when they graduate and when they step out of the college? Do you think all the students will be perfect motorcycle riders and they can perfectly repair all the motorcycles? I will again not answer. I'll leave that with you. Do you think without hands-on experience, is this possible? Multitasking is another important thing, wherein, let's say if you are preparing for any competitive exam, there are several subjects. Each subject has a unique way of learning. But what do? We apply one way of learning, one subject to every other subject. And that's exactly what also happens in a motorcycle ride, which we don't do. Because if we do it, we'll meet with an accident. We all know that for shifting the gears, it's 1 down, 4 up. But if the motorcycle changes, and if the gear system is different, we have to change. So hands-on experience and multitasking is the second learning. The third one is critical, being self-reliant and independence. Now, this is my favorite. There's a phrase, and I'm sure most of you would have heard it, that people can ride with you, but no one can ride for you. People can ride with you when you are riding, they can form a group, they can ride with you, but no one can ride for you. And it is similarly applicable to each and every learner. All your friends, colleagues, classmates can learn with you, but no one can learn for you. So you have to be independent and self-reliant, just like as if you're riding a bike. The fourth one is an interesting one. The time you become fully present and engaged, the time you become self-reliant and independent, the time you have got hands-on experience and you can multitask, automatically you can explore new ideas and experiences. And why is this my favorite? Because this is the place where entrepreneurs are born. We are all learners, we are all students for life. But the difference between a learner, a student, and an entrepreneur is this: having the courage to explore new ideas, having the courage to explore and do new experiences, get new experiences. Ask a motorcycle rider, would you like to ride on the same path, same road again and again? And again, I will not give you the answer. Check with any of your motorcycle riding friends. This, coupled with the next learning, gives rise to a true entrepreneur, which is calculated risk-taking ability. Now, do you think motorcycle riding is safe? The answer is no. Because till date, we don't have any technology which makes the motorcycle balance itself. So it is risky because you have to balance the motorcycle. But do we ride motorcycles? Yes. Do we love riding motorcycles? Yes. Why? Because we take calculated risk. We know that when there's a speed breaker, we slow down. When there's a turning, there's an angle to the turn. This is our calculated risk-taking ability. And what entrepreneurs do? Exactly the same. They know the business, they're completely engaged in the business, hands-on experience, coupled with calculated risk-taking ability. And this is the point. where I'll share a very short story. I was recently, last year, riding to Chandratal. Now, I was doing the Spiti Valley trip, and I was riding from Kaza to Chandratal, and there's no road. Leave roads, off-roading, tar road, nothing. There are just boulders. You have to use the GPS to reach the destination. Now, while riding to Chandratal, there was a small stream which I was supposed to cross. Now, I know all these things, so I parked my motorcycle. I said, I will now take a calculated risk. So I went to the stream, looked at the depth of the stream. It appeared to be normal. And I said, now I have done my calculation. Now I can simply ride through the stream, no problem. Do you know what happened? I couldn't cross the stream. Because there are certain things which is completely outside our control. There were mosses beneath the stream, because of which there was no traction, no friction, and therefore the bike fell. Now, this is the next learning which I would like to highlight. That all of you, please remember, let's start getting comfortable with uncertainties. Because there are two kinds of things. One, which is completely under your control, like me, parking the bike, going there, checking the depth, making sure that this is safe ground to pass. And there are certain things which are completely outside our control. Now, this is what a simple ride teaches us. Now, is it important for learners? Absolutely yes. Preparing for any competitive exam, preparing for your examination, just preparing to graduate your subjects and course and the entire program. What do? You learn, you understand the subject. This is in your control. Getting and clearing the exam with flying colors or any competitive exam, getting selected, is it in your control? Maybe or may not. Even if you have done everything in the world, is there a certainty that you will be selected? There's a question mark. And again, I'm not going to give you any answer to it. Next one, very important for all the learners. And why is this important? Because either in school, college, or your higher education, we have all done it. I don't know whether we actually studied in that study group, study meet, or not. But we have all done studies together. Community and collaboration, again, is the key, because you get a different perspective. I can be a solo rider, but if tomorrow there is some sort of uncertainty or a mishap, is someone there to protect me? Is someone there to just be together in that time where I can do something and get out of that difficulty? Similarly, your group study is critical. And group study doesn't mean gathering, having tea and biscuits, chit-chatting. That's not group study. Group study is all about collaborating. Group study is all about sharing different perspectives. And this is what a simple motorcycle ride teaches you. Because a ride is all about community and collaboration. Ask a rider whether you would like to ride from Kota to Jaipur alone or with 5 friends. What do you think they'll select? Again, I will not answer. The last one. You have heard this nth number of times. Journey over destination, journey over destination. All the good books, all the motivational speakers will talk about journey is more important than destination. It's like as if artificial intelligence is talking to you. Journey is more important than destination. But again, I will articulate exactly the same thing with a different perspective. Yes, journey is more important than destination. And the only example which I have for you is if you have motorcycle, riding friends, or if you have any friends who do, long motorcycle rides, go and ask them that when you reach your destination, do you feel like riding more? Again, I'm not going to answer it. Ask your friends. and therefore journey becomes more important than destination. Because let's say you are in a college, you are doing a course, a program, you graduate. What do you do next? The process of learning is so simple because there's no end to it. Always remember, once a learner, always a learner. And with this, I will end my talk in the same manner. All bikers end it. Godspeed. Thank you for listening to me and have fun riding.